Welcome back to In the Kitchen with Grace. Today we are doing a tasty, easy dinner recipe. We're doing white Alfredo chicken and spinach lasagna. If you have kids in your household that are a little picky, I have some that don't like red sauce. So like regular spaghetti is out the door, and I love white sauce, Alfredo style pasta dishes. So we are gonna do this chicken lasagna for supper tonight. And this is also a really great recipe to just grab like a rotisserie chicken from the store, or if you have leftover chicken to use up. I have one really large chicken breast shredded up. It's already been cooked. It's a leftover, and so this is a great recipe again to use up things you have in the refrigerator. I am going to start by grabbing a little bowl. If you want to just cook your chicken breast, if you're like, I got my chicken breast, but I haven't cooked them yet. I like to cook mine in the slow cooker on low for about 2.5 hours to 3 hours. And I put chicken broth in and some Italian seasoning. And that's just how I tend to make my chicken breasts ahead of time if I'm going to use them for a recipe later. So what we're going to do in our small bowl, I will put all the ingredients and the directions in the description below for you. I am going to grab my ricotta cheese. I'm using a whole 15-ounce container of ricotta. I'm going to just put it into a bowl here. Everybody has been loving my dump and go crock pot recipes. I just posted 2 different ones. They're kind of combination videos of recipes that I've put up over the last 1.5 years. But people are really enjoying them. And so if you love crock pot recipes, go check those out. And check out our dinner playlist because, let me tell you, I'm a busy mom. I'm all about easy recipes that my picky eater kiddos will eat. And stuff that makes leftovers for my husband and I to have for lunches the next couple of days. Okay, into our small bowl, we have the ricotta. I am going to do 1 egg. Dump it right on in. I am going to grab some parsley. If you have fresh parsley, let me tell you, I've got my own kitchen herb garden. I don't have parsley though. I always prefer to use fresh over dried herbs, but use what you got. And you want quite a bit. About 1/4 cup or so. There we go. It's a lot. You could also add in a little Italian seasoning. I already have mine in my chicken, so I'm going to go ahead and skip on that. And then we're going to grab some grated Parmesan. And we're going to do 1/4 cup of Parmesan. Don't put the Parmesan away because we're going to come back to it later. And I'm going to kind of carefully, gently mix this together. Get that egg really mixed in there. If you want to omit the egg, you totally can. I just happen to like using it for this recipe, but you don't have to use it in lasagna if you don't want to. You could always add a little cottage cheese instead. Basically what we're doing is we're making the cheese spread for every layer in the lasagna. We did a honey garlic pork chops dinner last week, and we did honey roasted potatoes with it. Oh, it was so good. And I've done, it's a no-bake chocolate chip cookie dough bark, like little bars. Ooh, those were the big hit too. They were super good. All right, that is ready. I'm gonna set that aside. We are gonna head over to the stove and get some stuff going in our skillet. All right, you guys, I have a good sized skillet here and I'm gonna turn it on to medium heat. What we're gonna do is we are going to let our butter melt. I'm gonna add in about 3 tablespoons or so of garlic. It's about 2 there, minced garlic. If you would like to add some onion, you could totally dice up about 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup of onion and add that in. I'm going to leave the onion out today. The lasagna noodles I am using are oven bake ready. So check the noodles that you have. You may need to get a pot going over here on the other side of your stove and cook your lasagna noodles. So if those are the kind of noodles you have that you need to cook, you're going to want to do that simultaneously while we are working in the skillet here. All right, we are going to add in about 4 tablespoons of flour. It's not quite 1/4 cup. And you're going to mix it into your garlicky butter. Let it thicken up a little bit here for a minute. All right, we are going to add in 1 cup of milk. One cup of heavy cream. Mix this in here just a little bit. This will thicken up. We're going to keep slowly stirring for about 5 minutes or so because we want this to come to a nice creamy thickness. And you can add in either 2 cups of chicken broth or you can add in 2 cups of water and it depends on your broth-based seasoning. Mine is going to require 4 teaspoons of broth, chicken broth seasoning, but we're going to add in a total about 2 cups worth of liquid. All right, we are going to let this simmer here for about 5 minutes or so until it's thickened up. And then we're going to add in our spinach and some more Parmesan. All right, so she is simmering up pretty good here. She's reduced down a little bit, thickening up. I'm going to go ahead and add in Parmesan. Now, I like to add some into here and then sprinkle a little bit on the very top of my lasagna right before I bake it. You can totally just add it in right now or omit this step altogether. Entirely up to you, but I'm just going to sprinkle in some Parmesan. I'm going to grab my spinach. And you want about 4 cups of fresh spinach. You could totally use frozen spinach. If you're going to use frozen, make sure you've thawed it and drained it because you don't want it soggy spinach in your lasagna. But 4 cups of fresh spinach, which is about 4 handfuls or so. I'm gonna mix this in here just a little bit, and then we'll add in the other 2 cups. There's 1 piece of spinach, not looking so hot. Pull that one out. Then carefully work it on into your sauce. You want to let your spinach kind of sauteed down a little bit. You may need to turn your sauce heat down to low for just a couple of minutes here while we get that spinach going. While I'm stirring, I'm gently scraping the bottom of my skillet. And I'm going to grab some salt and some pepper, sprinkle some in. This is getting nice and thick and creamy here. Speaking of pasta dishes, you guys, and crock pots, I have an amazing Southern home style mac and cheese recipe. It is like one of my favorite all-time dishes to eat. I will link to that recipe above as well for you. All right. You can hear, I don't know if you can hear it, the wind is howling today. It is like 30 degrees and like 40-mile-an-hour winds, and it is not pleasant outside. The weather's been changing here lately, and I did a an old-fashioned potato macaroni soup the other day for lunch. It was so delicious. I love comfort food. Trying to toss out some ideas for you. All right, we're going to head back to my island counter here and get our lasagna put together. I'm going to let this simmer here for about another minute or two. All right, so in preparation for putting together our lasagna, I have myself about a 9x9 baking dish. You can totally use a regular like bread pan style tin to make your lasagna. I just prefer this instead. And I have sprayed it with my cooking spray. I've got my lasagna noodles ready. We have our ricotta blend mixture ready. I have my shredded chicken ready. And I have shredded mozzarella and shredded Italian cheese. I'm gonna go grab the sauce that we just made. I like to pour my white sauce into a bowl and use my cup or half cup to scoop and pour it in the lasagna. We're gonna start by putting some down on the very bottom. This is so that your base layer of noodles do not stick to the bottom of your dish. And we're gonna put in our first layer of noodle. And then, this is a little hot here. We are gonna grab a good spoonful of our ricotta blend. Be very careful because the sauce will kind of ooze around between your noodles. And so you don't want to burn your fingers. So this is a recipe I really don't usually have my kids help with. I feel like it's pretty, I mean, they can if they're good in the kitchen, but okay. You could also add in some other toppings to this lasagna. Cooked broccoli or cauliflower, mushrooms. I love mushrooms in lasagna. I'm the only person in my family that will eat the mushrooms, so I leave them out. You could do some olives, like black olives. You could also sprinkle red pepper flakes on a layer if you've got spicy loving friends. You could also sprinkle some red pepper flakes on a layer if you've got some spicy loving family members. Okay, so we did ricotta. I'm gonna grab some of our shredded chicken. What I like about doing lasagna in a square dish instead of the rectangle is if you've got family members who just like their lasagna differently, you can totally do half one way and half the other. So if you've got like family members that are like, they don't like the meat in their lasagna, you could do just one side that's just the cheese, sauce, and noodles, and one side that has the meat. All right, we're gonna grab some shredded mozzarella. I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. You could do it at 375 as well. Just adjust your baking time. You're gonna bake it to where your cheese is nice and warm and bubbly on top. Okay, we are ready for a layer of sauce. Grab my spoon and spread the spinach around here just a little bit. Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna add another layer of noodles. And we're gonna spread on some ricotta. Leave in the comments below what you all are having for dinner this week. It always gives everybody ideas. We get tired of making the same things over and over, don't we? If you are new, welcome. We do all sorts of easy, delicious recipes that you can make at home. Your family will love. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, holidays, appetizers, you name it. And we are on Facebook, In the Kitchen with Grace, and Pinterest and Instagram. You can pin all of our recipes over on our Pinterest. Save them for later. We're sprinkling another layer of chicken. All right, we're gonna add some more cheese. I'm gonna go to the Italian cheese this time. Okay. And if you feel like you have enough sauce, feel free to skip adding sauce to a layer. That's totally up to you. I'm going to skip it on this layer. Push these down just a little bit. Let's add some more ricotta. This is perfect comfort food. I appreciate y'all so much. I really do. Okay, we're going to add some chicken. I have got enough noodles for, let's see, 2 more layers. I might skip the top layer because my dish isn't that deep. I'm going to go ahead and add in the chicken all on this layer. What I have left. And we are going to add in more of our mozzarella. Take a sip of cappuccino. I have a really good tahini hot cocoa recipe that I love to make. Hopefully I can remember to record it the next time I make it because you will love that. Your kids will love that recipe. All right, we're going to add in a nice big heaping amount of our spinach and white sauce to the top. We're getting close to the top of our lasagna, so I'm really going to go for it here. Oh, yeah. Okay, we are going to add in the next layer. Let it press down just a little bit. Add the last bit of ricotta to this layer. Now I've seen people make lasagna, actually I've done it myself, lasagna 2 ways, where you add in the final top layer of noodles, or you let your top layer be like this with just the ricotta on top. I am going to add a layer of Italian cheese. I'm going to leave off my last 2 remaining noodles because my lasagna is nice and tall here, and I'm going to sprinkle on a little bit more mozzarella. Actually, I lied. I'm going to take my sauce. You may not use all of your sauce, and that's okay. Just make sure you're not going to overflow the sides of your dish. But you do want to make sure that all of your top noodle is covered in sauce because you don't want it to be hard or crunchy. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more mozzarella. It's optional onto the very top. I'm going to grab our parmesan. Sprinkle a little bit of that on top. And we are going to bake this in the oven. When I do it at 350 degrees, it takes about 25 to 30 minutes in my oven. Your oven may vary just a little bit. And again, you want it to, the top layer to just be getting slightly browned. You want it to be bubbly and warm and just look so yummy that you can't wait to jump into it. All right, I will show you guys what this looks like when it's all done. Oh yeah, this cheesy white chicken and spinach lasagna looks and smells amazing. We're gonna have an easy, delicious dinner tonight. Thank you all so much for joining in today. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And remember, there will be a Pinterest pin link in the description below so you can pin and save this recipe as well. Oh my, be sure to check out our other easy dinner recipes too. We'll see you guys next time.